In Summary Task 2, you'll perform geospatial analysis. First, you'll perform tabular analysis using summarized table, and then visual analysis using proportional symbology. Next, you'll prepare an analysis map template that you'll use to perform location allocation vector analysis, kernel density raster analysis, and directional distribution and mean center geostatistical analysis. We'll begin by performing a tabular analysis using summarized table. So in ArcGIS Pro, I'm going to right click and open the attribute table for my depths feature layer. And in the depths table view, there's two fields I want to focus on. First is the count field, which is the count of deaths at each location. A single location might have more than one death. And the street field, which is the street where the deaths occurred. And so if we right click on the street field and select Visualize Statistics, I'm going to go ahead and minimize the catalog pane. This opens the chart properties pane where we set the parameters for the chart view that you see at the bottom of your screen there. So back in the chart properties pane, we're going to set the category to street, the aggregation to sum. And so we're going to sum the values in a specific field. In this case, we're going to select the count field. So we're going to sum the number of deaths per street. Go ahead and enable label bars and sort the chart by y-axis descending. And it becomes pretty clear which street has the most deaths. If you go over to the very far left side of the chart, you can see that Broad Street, where the Broad Street pump is located, has 93 deaths. Now, while this is compelling, is this conclusive evidence that the source of the cholera epidemic is the Broad Street pump? Probably not, but it supports performing a broader spatial analysis to confirm or deny Dr. Snow's hypothesis. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the chart properties pane, close the chart and table views, reset my interface, save my ArcGIS Pro project. Next, we'll perform a visual analysis using symbology. So in the contents pane, I'm going to select the deaths feature layer. This enables the context sensitive feature layer ribbon, which I'm going to activate. And then in the drawing group, click on the symbology drop-down button and select proportional symbols. This opens the symbology pane. I'm going to set the field for proportional symbols to count, which are the number of deaths. Go ahead and leave normalization in units set to the default, and then click on the symbol patch for the template. And I'm going to switch from the gallery panel to the properties panel and set the color as poinsettia red. Now, I have auto apply enabled so it automatically applies my symbology changes. If you don't, you'll have to click the apply button. I'm going to go ahead and re-enable auto apply. And then I'm going to click on the back button to return to the primary symbology pane. And then with the minimum size set to 4, I'm going to enable maximum size and go ahead and set that to 40 points. That looks good. I can see the proportional number of deaths, but still see the underlying base map as well. Go ahead and close the symbology pane. Now the deaths layer symbology shows the location of each resident proportionally symbolized by the number of deaths. Do you see any clusters that might indicate the source of the cholera outbreak? We'll go ahead and reset my interface, save my ArcGIS Pro project. Now, given the competing theories in Victorian England explaining how cholera was transmitted, John Snow needed more than a visual reinforcement of his theory that cholera was waterborne. He needed to quantify his analysis. You'll perform vector, raster, and geostatistical analyses, but first, you'll set up a map template for standardizing and performing each analysis. So in ArcGIS Pro, we want to standardize the scale by clicking on the Scale drop-up button in the map view and selecting Customize. in the scale properties window, we don't see 1 centimeter equals meters, so I'm going to click on enter new format, switch the display format from absolute to relative. The page units, I'm going to set those to centimeters, and the map units to meters. Under show decimal places, I'm going to change it to 1 decimal place, and then I'm going to enable abbreviate units and click OK. That's going to add centimeters to meters relative scale to my options, and I'm going to select that and click OK. So now I've got 1 centimeter equals 33.5 meters. I want to change the scale value so it's intuitive, and obviously an intuitive scale right here would be 1 centimeter equals 30 meters. All right, that looks good. Now I've got my map set up the way that I want, and I'm going to use it as a base map for all of my other analyses. So I'm going to expand the catalog pane. Go ahead and collapse my folder section and expand my map section. And then I'm going to right click on my map view and select rename. And we're going to call this one our base map. And not only does that rename the base map in the catalog pane, but also on the map view tab and in the contents pane as well. So back in the catalog pane, I'm going to right click on base map and select duplicate. And then we're going to rename base map 1 duplicate as vector analysis. All right, let's go ahead and reset my interface and save my ArcGIS Pro project.